dear chassid, who's languishing in prison for 27 years. And I was always imagining, I tell you, I sometimes walk in the street and I lie in my mind, as I walk to shul, and I used to sometimes think, what is going to happen the day that Rubashkin is free? I thought, it was in my mind. I said to myself, wow, it's going to be such an excitement for Yidden, we're going to dance. And I was thinking, how is it going to happen? I said, probably they're going to go to a higher court, and they're going to realize that this lady who was in charge of doing whatever she was doing, the judge was not fair, and the whole sentence wasn't fair, and they're going to revoke it. In a million years, I didn't entertain the thought that the most powerful person in the world, in the White House, the one person he's going to free, the one person is going to be Shalom Mordechai Rubashkin. Do we not see that Yidden, that the Jewish people are now the center of the entire world? That everything that's evolving now in the world is only about us? I don't know if you girls don't follow politics too much, but you know that all that's going on in the United States of America today is there's a big fight between the people on the right and the people on the left. People on the right are saying that the left are tremendous anti-Semites. And the people on the left are saying that who are the anti-Semites? People on the right. They're just talking about us. That's the only thing they're busy with. Everything that's going on is Yidden. Do you know today, Erev Chav Ches Nisan, Yisrael Goldstein, sadly Shliach, one who never lost his finger in that horrific shooting, he is meeting today with the President of the United States of America. And he's going to speak to him about a moment of silence, that he should introduce it in all the public schools, something that Rebbe fought for, that everybody... Do you realize, if this is not Mashiach, what is? We're seeing like unbelievable transformation. It's happening now. So what does that tell us? We really reached our destination. The time has come to do something now. Why did everything change? I have them all really listening. Good. So if you give me a few extra minutes, right? Okay, good. Because we're going to do something really special. But I need some few extra minutes.
Off that plane.
Okay, if we can get off. Okay, good. So now let's figure this out. So what happened? Why the last 10 years? Why did things change just recently? I think, my own little silly mind. Okay, I think I have an idea why. The Rebbe said to finish completion and fixing the world, it's related to the number 770. That's what the Rebbe said. The Rebbe says that 770 is the final stage of correcting the entire world. Why? That's a good question. Just because his address is 770? So the Rebbe explains it. Yeah, because he's the Nasi Hadar, but the Rebbe explains it actually why. The Rebbe says because the entire world is made up of what? Of 7. 7 what? 7 days of the week. 7 directions. 6 sides and the center. 7. 7 colors in the rainbow. 7 musical notes. 7 continents. 7 nations living in Eretz Yisrael, which later translate from 7 become what? 70. Everything is 7. Therefore, the number 7 is the completion of fixing the world. That's why the 7th Rebbe operates from a place called where? 770. Gematria Paratzta. Paratzta is the power of Mashiach. And what is he going to do? He's going to transform the whole world. So we were doing great, but we weren't getting the job done. So what happened? We didn't finish completely. So what happened? The whole world, I'm not kidding with you, the whole world became 770. What are you talking about? Crazy? Yeah, the whole world became 770. Why? Because 9 years ago, we entered into time that is called 5,770. Time itself became 770. When time itself became 770, the entire planet, anybody that's living within this time time on planet Earth, is living in what? And really it's not just planet Earth, it's all the cosmos, because Hashem created the world 5,779 years ago. So the entire world entered into the decade of 770. Who's boss in 770? Who's the ultimate boss in 770? The Rebbe is the boss in 770. Everywhere else, who's the boss? The Rebbe is the boss in 770. It's his home. Once 770 came about, the world became 770. That's why you see the Rebbe changed all the president. The Rebbe is changing. The Rebbe is bringing in such powers that are transforming. The Rebbe macht Seder of the ganze Welt. The Rebbe is making order in the entire world because the whole world became 770. But it's a little scary, right? Because we're just finishing 770. We're holding 779 and we're entering where? 778. But it's not scary. It's actually good news. Because fixing the world is the number 77. What's the number 8? The light of Mashiach. The revelation of Mashiach is number 8. So now that we're holding in Nissan, right before the year 5780, Vahi Bayoim Hashmini, we are ready for the light of the 8th dimension, the light of Mashiach. Good. So we're mamish ready. But we need to do something. We need to do something now. So why do I have a practical idea? So I think I have an idea to finally get off the plane. And this is it. Okay? And it involves all of you, but you have to do me a favor. Number one is a real big favor. I have to be able to trust you. The trust I have to trust you is that you're not going to leak this information for about 12 hours. I'm speaking tonight in 770. If you give it away, then everybody wants to be the first one. And I promise you, this idea came to me yesterday, actually, when I was sitting in the airport, waiting to board the flight coming over here. Something clicked. I think it can work. I think it can actually be like the most awesome thing. So I'm sharing it with you, and for those of you who have this recording, you can't put it out till about 10 o'clock tonight. Okay? So this is just between us. And I think this is awesome because I think this can really, really change. The Rebbe said in the Sikha, the Rebbe said, we need 10 akshanim. The Rebbe says, maybe, soif kol soif, 10 of you will be in action, will be stubborn, and you'll do whatever it takes to bring Mashiach. The Rebbe said these words, tut alts was ihr kennt. Tut alts. What does alts mean? All. So I want to do something for a second. I want to take the word alts and put up an aleph, okay? Let's put up an aleph. Imagine this big aleph. I don't have arts and crafts here, okay? Make sure there's a big aleph here. But, this is what I want. The aleph is an outline of an aleph. Outline of an aleph. The inside of the aleph is still empty. Then there's a lamed, also an outline of a lamed. Then alts we can probably spell tzaddik, or we can spell it tes samach. I don't know how it's spelled in Likutei Sichos. I don't know. It's not tzaddik? It is tzaddik? Alts. Aleph lamed tzaddik. Okay. But let's imagine the aleph lamed tzaddik and they're all empty. Inside is empty, outside is an outline. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, Reuven Wolff, you're tummeling a lot lately about Mashiach. And I'm making some noise. I'm trying to inspire. I'm trying to get off the plane, as I told you. I'm sorry, maybe I'm being selfish. All the good stuff we're doing, but you know what, it doesn't justify anymore sitting on this plane. So, but I'm thinking to myself, alts? The Rebbe says to me, alts? If I am to try to fill in the aleph, lamed, and tzaddik with, fill it in and see how much percent of the alts that I do. Alts means all that you can. I don't think I did maybe, I don't know, maybe a half of the little yudala that's on top of the aleph. Maybe. You have a full aleph that I have to fill. A full lamed and a full tzaddik that I have to fill with alts, everything. So once in a while I go and I make a voice note and I send it out, and there are some ladies that are excited about, and they go and they send it out to others, and it makes a little noise. But is that alts? Is that really alts? Very little. And I realized the reason why I'm not doing alts. Why am I not doing alts? The reason I'm not doing the alts because I have a nefesh Bahamas. And I like pizza. As much as I like Mashiach, I like pizza too. And I like sushi too. And I get lazy and I get tired. And I'm not in the mood. And I don't believe that I can make a change. And I think that whatever, I'll try, I'll do, and then I get tired, and then I get distracted. And then I think maybe, I don't know, is it right? All the regular hang-ups that regular people have. So I'm not doing alts. If I had a team of a couple of people together that I would have to answer to, a team, we work together. And what happens when we work together? What happens? When one of them when one of us get out of what? Out of steam, what does the other person do? They take over and they pull you out. When you're alone, you're going to fall into ditches. Everybody gets depressed. Everybody gets down. Everybody gets uninspired. But if you're a team, you're a group working together, then each of us pull each other out. So I want to set off. Here's the idea. Don't share this with anybody till tonight, later, but we want to start it in Beis Rivkah. Literally, we're starting it in Beis Rivkah. What we're going to do is set ourselves up as teams of 10. Why 10? Because the Rebbe said 10. Also, when you have 10, the Shekhinah dwells. And when the Shekhinah dwells, you have superpower, infinite power. So now we're going to have teams of 10. And what does it mean to have a team of 10? You girls select who is in your team. It's you set it up, you all join a group. In that group, this becomes your Mashiach group. Okay? It could be Geula group, you can give it the coolest name you like, doesn't make a difference. It is a group. And what you're doing with this group is, let me show you why I'm thinking this. There's a group of women in California, actually, they started in California, then they joined others. They decided that they also want to get off the plane. They're getting off the plane. And these are not like crazy, wacky people. These are very normal, everyday, great, good, wonderful, regular people. But they just frustrated with being on the plane, so they want to get off the plane. In any case, so they set up this Geula movement that we have to get. And you know what happened? And I realized the power. Just about a month and a half ago, they started organizing. One group, Chaf Hey Adar, I came here, I spoke over here for the women in the big hall here. I don't know how many of you girls were there. I think probably some of you might have been there. There were over 1,000 women there. And across the entire Lubavitch, across the entire globe, there were 100 Kabbalas HaMalchus or Kabbalas Pnei Mashiach events. Unbelievable. Things that we haven't been doing for like 20 years, 28 years back then and there. Suddenly it popped up. Why? Teamwork. A group together, powerful and strong. So how about if all of you, everybody here, become Mashiach activists in a practical, literal, down-to-earth way? And what is it we have to do? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? Well, in Lubavitch, there's 1,000 opinions of what needs to be done. And I'm not going to say which one is right. Probably a little bit of everybody's right. What needs to be done? We have a lot of opinions and this needs to be done. So find a group of like-minded people like you. Okay? There are those who believe that in order to bring Mashiach, we have to tell every person, 7 billion people in the world, that the Rebbe is Mashiach. Okay? Not everybody is ready for that. Not everybody feels that. Fine. Then there are those who believe we're now allowed to tell a soul that Rebbe is Mashiach. Not even that, we're not allowed to even think it. Okay? Good, gesund to hate. I'm just showing you the two extremes. But now, guess what? We don't have to fight with each other. Everybody agrees one thing, that we have to get off the plane. Now. And everybody agrees that the Rebbe said it's up to us. So how about if everybody gets together in groups? And what are you going to do? How are you going to show the group? Another group. But here's the secret of it. Once a week, the group meets, and it can be meeting physically, or it can be meeting where? On WhatsApp. It's 1 hour. 1 hour a week where there is a meeting. A meeting on the phone, a meeting on a phone, a meeting through a phone call, through a number, physically. I don't know what the story is with phones over here, what, where, and when. I'm not getting into that. You'll leave that to your mashpiyim. Whatever it is, you get together once a week for an hour on your own time. And you take upon yourself, everybody in the group, hachlatis, best would be, in my opinion, in 3 aspects. Torah, Avodah, and Gemilas Chasadim. And it's not like, okay, well, we've been doing this. No, we're all doing this together. Groups upon groups are forming. And what are we doing? All kinds of new stuff. For example, we decide that this week, we're going to split the hill in between the group. There's 10 people, 15 kapitluch, you're going to say maybe only once a week. Maybe we're going to say, for what? For one thing only, to bring Mashiach. The other thing we're going to do is do a kindness this week. I'm just throwing out ideas. Kindness can mean we can raise money for someone that's that needs help with something. Kindness can be that someone who needs a shidduch that we have no one has paid attention to. We're all members in the group, or not to be that person, or it can be everybody's going to decide to read one shidduch at least to one person so that we can get shidduchim going. Or maybe we have 1,000 ideas of a kindness you can do. You have kindness you can do Torah, and Torah has to be in Yanei Geula Mashiach. And when I say in Yanei Geula Mashiach, what do I mean by Yanei Geula Mashiach? I mean that you're actually either learning a sikha from the Rebbe, or you're listening to a good class. Let's say someone, in every group there's one monitor that month. They're in charge, and what happens if someone doesn't show up by that hour? Okay, let's say everybody's on the phone. Let's say it's on the phone. Is everybody on the phone? So we're all responsible, or one person especially, is responsible for reaching out to that person. What's going on? Are you joining? We need you to join. So suddenly everybody's brought on board. And imagine, here, let me give you just a cool idea. Imagine if this activist group of 10. Now what happens if I'm just going to give you a little clause. Sometimes you're in a group and it's not really working out. You're not connecting to the people. So what do? Okay. So you can speak to the head and you say, listen, now I know there has to be 10. I don't feel I'm part of this. Can I exit? Fine. And someone else comes and takes the place. But there has to be a group of 10. 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 and 10. Imagine if we can turn all of Lubavitch into Mashiach activists group. Once a week, we plan the week. What is going to be done to bring Mashiach? The inspiration has to be learning something. During the week, you learn something. And then the group can, now one thing is for sure, that group has to be sacred space. Can't be on that group any kind of lashon hara, any kind of things, any kind of negative about any other group. None of that stuff. It's only a holy place to bring Mashiach. And what are we doing? Torah, Avodah, Gemilas Chasadim, everybody, it can be the tiniest things. But everybody is active. Everybody is involved. It's not inspiration in the Luften. It's not we're inspired now, we got to get off the bus. Everybody in Lubavitch. There's going to be groups of little children, 10 together. Groups of little boys, groups of little girls. Groups in old age homes, okay? Of old bubbies and zaydis. They too are in a group. What are they doing? They can be saying Tehillim and doing other stuff. Everybody is active and everybody is doing. And obviously, how about this? There is one central location that's keeping tabs of how many groups are forming. And imagine the momentum. If from time to time we are notified, wow, we have now already 20 groups on the men's side and 20 groups on the women's side. We have 40 groups. Imagine we've now already reached 60 groups of people. And imagine if we from time to time get updates and stats and saying that this group, that suddenly we had so many nesheks that were done and tefillin that was done and so many mamorim were learned. And suddenly it becomes a powerful force of practical activism to bring Mashiach now.